These are the kinds of spectacular ruins that tourists come from all over the world to see. But for early Christians walking through this plaza, this was the library, one of the greatest libraries in the world, reminding them that they were in an intellectual center. As they would walk through these archways, they would see over the top the inscription to Caesar Augustus, who is God? And it would remind them of the worship of the emperors that created so much tension in their lives. Just over here is the town brothel right out in the public, which would again remind them of the seduction of the rampant sexual immorality in Ephesus. But through those arches is where the action really happened, the town market, the Agora. The Agora was the most important trade center in Ephesus. It was in the form of a large square, surrounded by columns, with 3 gates. I've entered through the gate from the Celsus Library. 3 sides of the Agora were surrounded by a portico that held the shops doing business in this commercial center. Ephesus was a port city, and goods from all over the known world were sold right here in this place. No city tells us what life was like for early Christians in the Roman Empire like the city of Ephesus. Ephesus was affluent. It sat on the edge of a major seaport. So trade from literally all over the known world parked its ships in the seaport and filled the city with goods that were much coveted by people who came from land routes. Trade routes on land ended up here in Ephesus. So Ephesus was a rich town, and it was very cosmopolitan. People from all over the world lived here, Jews and Gentiles and Persians, and most of the activity that was significant took place right here in the Agora, or the marketplace. The Agora would have been filled with the fragrant aromas of spices from far and distant lands, with the beautiful colors of textiles that had been woven and brought here for sale. People would gather here socially. I mean, this was like a mall on steroids, really. This was the center of life in Ephesus and the center of life in most cities in the Roman Empire. And so what would happen here would be largely determinative of the social interactions and status of early Christians. Of course, one challenge was that at the entrance to the Agora was an incense burner. In order to enter the Agora on good terms, you had to take a little incense as an act of loyalty to the emperor, who claimed to be Lord, and drop it in the incense burners. Christians struggled with that. It was tough to navigate that. To be shut out of the Agora meant to be shut out of so much of life.